Hi, in this presentation, I would like to talk about how to build a single page application by using React.js. To begin with, I want to mention what React is. React is an open source front-end JavaScript library created by Facebook engineer Jordan Walken. It helps developers to build user interfaces by using UI components. React components are usable and it makes developer job easy. The following slide, I will discuss what we need to know to use the React.js, and later on I will jump to my project to show how we use React to make our single page application. Okay. To use React.js, we need to know the modern JavaScript syntax, mostly writing modern syntax of function using ternary operator, increment, compound assignment, templates, literals, etc. Also, we need to know higher order function like map, filter, for each, etc. And also, we need to know how to destructure objects and arrays. Node package manager. To work with React.js, we need to install Node.js in our local machine. We also need to install npm in our computer to use third-party modules that will give us smooth developer experience in React development. npm does not stand for Node Package Manager. It is a tool to connect the repository that contains Node.js programs, plugins, and modules. We need to be familiar with command line interface through terminal or PowerShell to install those packages. For example, create React app commands creates React project. It includes built-in tools such as Webpack, Babel, and ESLint. Let's talk about virtual DOM. When we create a web page using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the browser renders those and paint on the screen. Every time there is a changes in the DOM, the browser has to render, recreate, and paint it, which makes the process slow. In React, it creates virtual DOM in the memory. The take that takes a replica from browser DOM and it continuously sees that if there is any changes in the browser DOM. The virtual DOM just replaces the changing part without creating the whole DOM and paints in the browser without refreshing the page. React Virtual DOM works like a tree where each node of the tree is a component. If there is a changes in the tree components, the React Virtual DOM recreates the tree with the changes, and with the help of Diffing's reconciliation algorithm, it compares the changes between previous tree and new tree and updates in the browser DOM. React components and its lifecycle. Components are blocks of codes that are reusable. React component is like JavaScript function that returns an HTML element. It takes arbitrary inputs which are known as props. In React, there are two types of components: class components and function components. Components names must start with uppercase letter. There are three stages of component lifecycle. Mounting, it means when we create a component and put the element into the DOM. Updating means whenever there is changes in the component stage or props. Unmounting is whenever the component is removed from the DOM. In React, it is called unmounting. React hooks. For each phase of the component lifecycle, there are specific methods responsible for a particular stage, and those are mainly built for class-based component. In modern React version, we can use the hook to access function, component, state, and other React features, so that we don't need to longer use class-based component, as function components contains class code and they are easy to read. Mostly used hooks are use effect, use state, etc. Those are allows us to track state and perform side effect accordingly in a function component. Deployment. So after finishing the development, we use npm run build. It will create a folder build for production, which we need to host in the server. SEO. So let's talk about React SEO. Some benefits of creating a single page application by using React.js is less time consuming, easy to debug, and fast and responsive. We can make React application SEO friendly by server-side rendering, which is static HTML page that renders from the server. Also, we can use React Snap to build HTML pages and render it before the JS file loads without fixing the node server. Now, let's move to the project itself. So we have a project of e-commerce product categorization. So this is our web page, a single web page application, and we try to categorize project based on the checkbox. For example, food and grocery, it will only show the food products. Similarly, furniture, sports equipment, and electronics. So if we go to our code. Here we can see we have those components to make our page. We used hooks here that basically fetch data from the JSON file. It is a raw data, kind of dummy data we have here, and we try to fetch the data using hooks. So this is more or less about our project, and yes, here it is. So yeah, thank you very much.